Hello again, it's Lloyd from Blackpool Air Rifles, just bringing you a weekly update video, and this week we'll get down to it straight away. We've got a couple of new rifles. We've got the BSA Ultra XL, which as you can see is here in front of us. I'll give you a quick rundown about the Ultra XL. You've got a action that looks very similar to the Fox platform. Slightly modified. It looks like they've actually moved the safety catch onto the right hand side, which is actually quite nice. Got usual 10-shot magazine, turn it round there. We've got the 10-shot magazine, obviously got the excellent BSA barrel, which are really renowned for their accuracy and quality. So really what you've got is, which is a bit strange really, you've got they call it the Ultra XL, so it's the Ultra, that's sort of been stretched back up to sort of Scorpion levels of length. So really I think it should have been called the Scorpion, to be honest with you, or something like that, but obviously that's BSA's naming for you. In this new, and I've been trying to think of words to describe this stock. I guess we'll call it challenging. Certainly it's an unusual stock. And to be totally honest with you, I actually think the stock lets the gun down a little bit, but at the end of the day, stocks are a very personal thing. So I'm sure there's probably going to be some of you out there that are absolutely loving this stock right now, but what you've got is you've got an odd combination of a beechwood stock with a plastic cheek piece. Yeah. So anyway, it's got a plastic cheek piece. I don't get why, to be honest with you. I'd rather have seen this in wood. In fact, I'd rather have seen a black stock with a wood cheek piece, because that's where you put your face against. But maybe there's a reason for it. I haven't worked it out yet, but if you've got an answer to why it's got a plastic cheek piece, I'd love to know, really. The nice thing about the stock is that, as you can see, it is adjustable. So with a Allen key, you just pop those in and you just loosen those off. You can see it's obviously been built to, you know, a price. There's nothing particularly fancy, but it definitely works. And as you can see, the cheek piece can move up and down, so you can fit it better to when you've got a scope mounted, to make it more comfortable. So actually, practicality-wise, yeah, it's pretty good. It's also ambidextrous. Left or right-handed, but obviously the bolt on this one is on the right. You can see that the pistol grip is actually very, very thin as well on it. The reach is okay, it just feels very, very thin. I guess, again, practical benefits of that is it's going to fit more people's hands, more people's shaped hands, because there's nothing, you know, there's no like lumps or whatever on the grip, so it's probably going to fit juniors a little bit better. It might fit ladies a little bit better. You know, if you've got short fingers or whatever, it's probably going to be a little bit easier, but aesthetically, it's not terrific, is it really? You know, we might as well be honest about it. It's you know, it's got looks that only a mother can love. And I'm sure there's going to be people out there going, Lloyd, no, I absolutely love it. You're talking rubbish. But you know, the general consensus is we've got here a fantastic action and a sort of unusual looking stock. But overall, I sort of think, yeah, you know, it's going to be recommended retail is $549. It's actually going to sell in the real world for around about $475 to $500. Would I recommend it? Well, really, what I would recommend instead of that, I'd recommend something that's been going quite a bit longer, which is Scorpion SE. And as you can see, there is not a massive difference to the Scorpion SE length and the Ultra. In fact, actually, I rang BSA up and I was sort of trying to find out what the difference is between the two. And they were saying that the Ultra XL gives you around about 80 shots, approximately, and the Scorpion gives you 95. And yet the Scorpion's cylinder is 100 centimetres, 100 cm cubed, and that is 105. So it seems to me that the Ultra XL is actually slightly less efficient than the Scorpion as well. And because the Scorpion, you can get that in the real world for around about £500. In my opinion, I would always go for the Scorpion SE. I think it's a much nicer looking rifle. This one's a walnut one, by the way. The standard one is beech. There's, you know, you can see the difference in colour slightly. This isn't a particularly fancy walnut one. The beech looks sort of fairly similar, and for me, that is the gun that I would go for, the Scorpion SE. Like I say, you know, you've got great performance. It's just the looks of the thing that's putting me off. But luckily, looks are very subjective. Other people might like it. Some people might like the Ultra XL and think it looks absolutely fabulous. But there you go. That's the XL. We're not going to stock it. We're just going to get them to special order, because to be honest with you, I actually do think with the looks, it's probably going to put a few people off. It's going to be a bit of a niche product. There will be a few people who will absolutely love it, and we'll be able to get them one fairly quickly. I think, you know, quite a lot of retailers will probably be stocking one or two of these rifles. Whether they sell or not, different matter. But my opinion is, buy the Scorpion SE, which is a better looking gun and seems to perform slightly better for some reason than the Ultra XL in number of shots. Apart from that, you know, I would guess that the performance is going to be exactly the same because you've got the same barrels on them. Okay, so that's the new XL. And we've also got another rifle that you've probably seen already, to be honest with you, on the groups and Facebook and God knows everywhere else, and that is the FX Impact. Now, I'm not going to spend ages talking about the Impact because there's already plenty of reviews coming up out there. There's lots of people talking about these things. The only thing I do want to say about the Impacts, and this is purely from a point of view of anybody that wants to buy one off us, Blackpool Air Rifles, and that is when we're getting them into the country and out of the boxes, we're actually finding that some of the Impacts aren't working. And they're not working properly. You know, we've noticed a few trigger problems. We've noticed a few leaking problems as well. Now, we've actually spoke to the FX factory about it, and we've given them feedback about this, that we feel that really the quality control needs to be a little bit better. So what we've done is we're testing all these guns before we send them out, and really that's why I've kept quiet about the Impacts over the last week or so, because we have had them in stock, but we wanted to check them out thoroughly. So we've been pressure testing them. We've been making sure we've been filling them up with air, making sure that they're not leaking. We've been testing the triggers out thoroughly. We've been leaving them in the boxes for 3 or 4 days with the air in to make sure that everything's okay. And to be totally frank with you, some of them aren't. In fact, we're getting a reasonably high rejection rate. But what I want to say is that once these guns have actually been tested and we've made sure that they're okay of leaks, then it seems then when we sell them that everybody's over the moon with them, and we're getting that absolutely fantastic response from the customers that already bought them off us. So basically what I would say is, if you are going to buy an Impact, even if you don't buy it from us, I would probably get your local retailer, to just basically test them, because there are little niggles with them. You know, we've been told, right, okay, well, if it leaks, you know, tighten up the pressure gauge and this, that and the other. Well, in my opinion, that should have been done from the factory. And like I say, I'm still waiting for feedback back from FX about these problems, and obviously I'll let you know on Facebook, and I'll probably let you know on the next YouTube video about what they say about them. But overall, if you get one that's been tested properly by your retailer, I'd be confident that things are going to work properly. I mean, obviously, you can never be 100%. You know, you're still probably going to get minor niggles and stuff like that, but the customers that have already picked them up off us, most of them seem to be pretty happy. We have had a couple of leaks from the early ones that we didn't test thoroughly enough. We expected that FX would be supplying us with something that was absolutely perfect out of the box, but it just goes to show, you know, we're basically testing everything these days that's going out. So yeah, that's a shame, but ultimately the Impact, performance-wise, once they're working properly, absolutely fantastic gun. We've got a few left in stock. We've got quite a few customers that we've rang that are going to come and collect them, but we've got 1 or 2 left in stock. Not many, to be honest with you. So you're after an Impact, just give us a ring. Finally, we've got some little bit of Airgun jewellery. I don't know whether anybody's ever seen these before, but these are really nice CNC made alloy bolts. They look very, very tricky. They look quite modern. So I'm sorry we haven't got the close-up facility to do on videos yet, but we will do when we move into the new studio. But basically we've got bolts for the BSAs, we've got the Ultra, we've got the R10, and he's also made one a sort of much nicer looking bolt for the RM8, the Walther. We've got these in stock now. These are actually made by a company called Liquid Steel Designs. He's done a really good job, and the black finish is actually Cerakote, so it's pretty tough. Price-wise, they're starting off at around about, I think it's about 18 or 19 pounds for that one, and they go up to about 35 pounds for the very pretty R10 bolts. I'm sorry, I don't know whether it'll focus or not, but that's the R10 one. You can see it's a lovely, lovely finish. So we've got those in stock now. A couple of other updates. A lot of people are asking us about the chronographs because we're supposed to be doing a video on the new chronograph that we're bringing in, the R2A. We have had a slight delay on the chronographs. It's going to be another probably about 3 or 4 days before we get them. And then we will do a video review on them next week. Keep an eye, if you're looking out for one, keep an eye on the website, because the moment that they come in, we'll put them in stock straight away. That's about it really for now. This was just a quick video, again as usual. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, please leave them below on YouTube, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Okay, good stuff. Let's go. No funny bits this week, not falling over, or we do need a close-up facility as well, don't we really?